Triathlons are more than just swim, bike, and run. They come with a whole language that can be confusing if you're new to the sport. Misunderstanding these terms can not only affect how you talk about the sport, but also how you train and race. To clear things up, here's a breakdown of triathlon terms that people often get wrong, along with detailed explanations to set the record straight. Transition. When you hear the word transition in a triathlon, it's easy to think of it as just the area where you switch between disciplines, but it's so much more than that. The transition is both a place and a process. In a race, there are two main transitions, T1 and T2. T1 is where you move from swimming to biking, and T2 is where you switch from biking to running. These transitions are crucial moments in a race because they can significantly impact your overall time. Athletes spend a lot of time perfecting their transition skills, practicing how to change gear quickly and efficiently. Some even use tricks like keeping shoes clipped onto the bike or using elastic laces for faster shoe changes. It's all about shaving off seconds that could make the difference between winning and losing. So when someone mentions their transition time, they're talking about those critical moments when they're swapping gear and mentally shifting from one sport to the next. Brick workout. A brick workout might sound like something you do at a construction site, but in triathlon, it's a specific type of training. A brick workout involves doing two triathlon disciplines back to back without a long break in between, usually biking followed by running. The name likely comes from the heavy, awkward feeling in your legs when you start running right after biking, as if your legs were made of bricks. These workouts are essential because they prepare your body for what it will experience during a race. Running after biking is one of the toughest transitions, as your muscles are used to pedaling and suddenly have to adjust to running. By regularly practicing brick workouts, you teach your body to make this switch more efficiently, helping you avoid that heavy-legged feeling on race day. So, while the name might sound odd, brick workouts are a vital part of any serious triathlete's training plan. Drafting. Drafting is a term that can mean very different things depending on the type of triathlon you're competing in. In some races, drafting is legal, while in others, it's strictly forbidden. Drafting occurs when a cyclist rides closely behind another, taking advantage of the reduced air resistance. This makes it easier to ride at higher speeds with less effort. In draft-legal races, athletes work together in packs, which can dramatically affect the race dynamics. However, in non-draft races, such as Ironman events, drafting is illegal. Athletes must maintain a specific distance from one another, and breaking this rule can result in a time penalty or even disqualification. Knowing the rules about drafting is crucial because it changes how you race. If you're in a non-draft race and accidentally follow someone too closely, you could face a penalty that costs you valuable time. So always check the race rules and know what kind of event you're entering. Bonk. Bonking is a term that often gets misunderstood. Some people think it just means getting tired, but in a triathlon, bonking is far more serious. When you bonk, your body has run out of glycogen, the energy stored in your muscles. This can lead to extreme fatigue, dizziness, and even confusion. It's like your body just hits a wall, and continuing can feel nearly impossible. Avoiding a bonk requires careful planning, especially during longer races. Triathletes have to be diligent about their nutrition, both before and during the race. Eating the right amount of carbs, electrolytes, and fluids is key to keeping your energy levels stable. Many athletes rely on energy gels, bars, or drinks to keep their glycogen stores up during the race. Bonking can ruin your race, so understanding how to fuel properly is essential for triathlon success. Negative split. The idea of a negative split can be confusing because it sounds like a bad thing, but it's actually a smart racing strategy. A negative split means you complete the second half of your race faster than the first half. For example, if you're running a 10K, you would aim to run the last 5K faster than the first 5K. This strategy helps prevent you from going out too fast and burning out before the finish. Pacing is key to achieving a negative split. It requires knowing your body and your limits well enough to hold back a bit at the beginning, saving energy for a stronger finish. Experienced triathletes often use this strategy to achieve personal bests because it ensures they have enough energy left to push hard at the end when others might be slowing down. So, while the term might sound negative, it's actually a positive approach to racing. Aerobic versus anaerobic. Aerobic and anaerobic are terms that often get mixed up, but they refer to very different types of exercise. Aerobic exercise means working at a pace where your body can supply enough oxygen to your muscles, allowing you to sustain the effort for a long time. This is the kind of exercise you do in endurance sports like triathlon. On the other hand, anaerobic exercise is much more intense and can only be maintained for short periods because your body can't supply enough oxygen, so it relies on energy stored in your muscles instead. Understanding the difference between aerobic and anaerobic exercise is important for effective training. During most of your triathlon training, you'll be working in the aerobic zone building endurance. However, anaerobic training is also important because it helps improve your speed and power for shorter bursts, like sprinting to the finish. Knowing when and how to train in these different zones can make a big difference in your performance. Taper. The term taper often confuses people because it sounds like it might mean scaling back your training to almost nothing before a race. While you do reduce your training volume, tapering is a careful balance of rest and short, intense workouts designed to keep your body sharp. The goal of a taper is to allow your body to recover fully while maintaining your fitness so that you're at peak performance on race day. A good taper can last anywhere from a few days to a few weeks, depending on the race distance and your training. Many athletes struggle with the taper because it can feel strange to cut back after months of intense training. However, tapering is crucial for racing at your best. Too much rest can make you feel sluggish, while too little can leave you fatigued. Finding the right taper strategy is a fine art, but when done correctly, it can make all the difference in your race. Triathlons are challenging, but they're also rewarding. Understanding the terminology is a big part of becoming a better triathlete. By mastering these terms, you'll not only sound more knowledgeable, but you'll also train and race more effectively. Whether you're a beginner or an experienced triathlete, getting these terms right will help you feel more confident and prepared for your next race.